Invincible is the brand new Amazon Prime original 8-episode TV series, which dropped its first 3 episodes 2 Fridays ago, and last Friday dropped its newest episode, episode 4, on Amazon Prime. Because we are halfway through this show, I'm going to here stop and give you my spoiler thoughts on the first half of Invincible. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Max Sinberg. Please like this video if you're new to the channel, or at all if you're joining me for the review. It's the best way to support this channel as we continue to grow. Also, comment down below your thoughts of Invincible. Again, this is a spoiler review. So let me know, do you love the show, not like the show? Rank your favorite episodes and tell me what are your predictions for the rest of the series. Again, I have not seen or not read the comic, so if you have read the comic, don't spoil things for anyone in the chat. But I do want to comment and have a nice fun conversation because I am very passionate about this show. Also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications if you want more Invincible news. We also have some more reviews coming down the pipeline this week with Falcon the Winter Soldier, Thunder Force, a lot more stuff, reviews coming in the month of April. So now I'll stop, and here we go. Spoiler review, okay? This is my spoiler warning. If you just joined me, I adore this show, so definitely watch Invincible. Watch those first 4 episodes, then come back here, check out my spoiler thoughts of the show. So as I just said, I adore this show. This is one of my favorite shows in years. I really love the show, and I was really sitting on this for a while. I didn't start watching when it came out. I started watching this last week because I had nothing to do. It was like, a lot of people are talking about this, and then maybe not enough people are talking about it. I heard a lot of people who I trust are talking about it, and I watched it, and I absolutely binged this thing really easily. The first 2 episodes I watched back to back, then I watched 3 and 4 back to back the next night, and I absolutely adore this show. This is one of the best voice casts in an animated movie or show, with Stephen Yeun giving a really, really good performance as Invincible, J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man, Sandra Oh, who is a lot more character depth than most of the superhero movies or shows handle her character. She's really good in the show. You have Mark Hamill, Zazie Beetz, Jillian Jacobs, Jason Mantzoukas, Andrew Rannells. There's so many fun people. Jaimin Hunso, Zachary Quinto, Walton Goggins, Clancy Brown. It's a stacked cast for Invincible. And what's great about the show is that each episode really is 45 to 48 minutes. Most animated TV shows are usually around 22 to 30 minutes. But because this show is definitely more special than most, because it's 45 minutes, which gives its story more time to breathe, have more quiet moments, and not just have a full action show. But while he can be invincible in a lot of scenes, he can also be Mark Grayson himself and have his battles of, does he actually want to be a superhero, or does he want to live a life where he's a normal kid like his mom? And I think that dynamic is able to come to fruition because the show is 45 minutes long, which is perfectly the perfect runtime for this show. The show is very raunchy. It's very bloody, especially we got to talk about this. I have to talk about this. The ending of the first episode is one of the best twists that I've seen in a long time. It really hit me hard emotional. I was like, my jaw, I was just like this for like 10 minutes. It was hilarious, and I thought it was really, really powerful and very well done. Again, spoiler, here we go. The last 10 minutes, we see Omni-Man kill the Guardians of the Globe. Now, someone who hasn't read the comics, I had no idea this was happening. Really, in the first episode, they really established Mark Grayson as a person, the fact that he's kind of getting his powers at the age of 17. Omni-Man, who helped with the Guardians of the Globe in that opening White House scene. They really established them very well, very Avengers, very Justice League-like team. There's a person who very resembles the Flash, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, who's on this team. And then this episode is really just developing a little bit character development. We learned about Omni-Man's home planet. We learned about the dynamic between him and his wife, played by Sandra Oh. Mark stands up for Zazie Beetz' character Amber in school. She kind of starts, you can kind of see her kind of liking him after this happens. But then it's a very clean episode. I didn't think it was special or anything, but then the last 10 minutes in the entire show changes. Now, there was obviously cursing going on in the episode, but nothing this bloody and this really hard R in the entire show until this last bloody fight scene where Omni-Man shockingly kills the Guardians of the Globe. He kills each of them very violently. We learn that it's a trap while they're all being sent back to headquarters, and Omni-Man knocks himself out as he kills all of the Guardians of the Globe in a very violent and a very emotional way that really had my jaw drop for about 10 minutes. And I had to watch the next episode right after that because the ramifications of the episode. Now, they have a post-credit scene, I guess you want to call it, in each episode where they show the director, the writer, and then they just do the scene. So it really isn't that much of a post-credit scene, but if you, for some reason, clicked off, it's a totally different show. And the show itself totally changes when this thing happens. You're like, holy crap, what happens next? So what happens next that we see Omni-Man in a coma, and Mark begins to get his Invincible stuff. He got his costume from Mark Hamill's character, which was very funny. Again, this is 4 episodes. I'm not going to be too long here. I'm trying to highlight some of the big stuff that happens in the show. Mark starts to help with another superhero team called the Team, which has Adam Eve, the Multiplier Girl, Jesse Manzuka's character, Rexplode, and Robot. And he starts to help them out in this alien invasion, really very much of an alien invasion episode where Djimon Hounsou's Martian Emperor keeps coming in. And because he's in that world, the longer they're in there, the more they decay and die. So they had a lot of fun scenes, but the consequences of that 338 people die in this battle. And that's a lot for a 17-year-old kid to really find with. He saves an old lady. He thought he saved her, took her out of that situation. And then at the end of the episode, we learned that she died. She did not make it in that very high-tech room. And Mark had to learn that it's just part of the job. It's not all glitz and glamour being a superhero. People die on your watch. People die in your hands. And that's the life of a job. But this is a 17-year-old kid who's just experiencing his powers in his first ever battle. The complexity of this kid being a superhero is so damn great. It got me a lot of Peter Parker vibes in a really good way. The idea that he has to balance being a kid and a superhero, but this show, even more than most superhero movies that talk about superhero kids, really does a great job balancing out, should he want to be a superhero or should he just be a kid? And his balance, and that really comes with this love triangle that he really is having with Amber and Eve. At least in the first two episodes, it seems like when he's in the superhero costumes being invincible, he really is into Eve. But when he's Mark Grayson, he's really in a love thing with Amber, and that dynamic of which one does he truly want to live his life? Because as he learned, I think it was episode 3 episode where he does the Mars episode, where he's like, I got to be off for 2 weeks. He leaves Amber. Or just the scene of him leaving Amber to go do a scene with Eve, and then to come right back an hour later, was a really great scene of identifying what does Mark truly want. Because Omni-Man gives him some really bad advice, like, good, you put your job in front of the people you love, and you can kind of start to feel the uneasiness of the Omni-Man character, how off he kind of feels. He's very much, his job is to save the protector of Earth. And even though he loves his wife and loves his kid, having his kid actually have powers has really complicated his entire plan, which is very evident as the episodes continue to grow. And even though he wants to train him, he doesn't want him to get too involved in any of the big stuff. So that balance of does he want to keep lying to his girlfriend about being a superhero, or does he just want to live a life where he can date a superhero and that's the life? Again, they haven't really made it like he's into Eve at all in that way, but him and Amber are really cute together, in my opinion. The Zazie Beetz and Steven Yeun have good voice chemistry, and they fit well together. They have their first date was very, very funny, very cute. And then we have a whole thing of Eve having a conversation in school with Mark about going to tell Amber, if you're really serious about her, tell her that you're a superhero. And we get that scene, and Mark does not tell her, which is really, and everything is, I think he really is into her. There's so much going on in his life, so unsure if he really wants to be a superhero. Does he want to tell her that? It would really ruin it. He's not sure if it would ruin anything. It's a really interesting dynamic of, he can come out to be his full potential, be Mark Grayson in Invincible with Eve, but he can really just be Mark Grayson with is Mark Grayson Invincible the same person? The balance of that being the same person is also done great. Now, at the same time, Walton Goggins is Cecil, who's like the head of basically an FBI type agency, is spying on Omni-Man because he clearly thinks that because Omni-Man was the only person left survived in that, he clearly is the one who killed everyone. But this Damien Dark, the demon character voiced by Clancy Barnes, investigating, and he gets caught because Omni-Man leaves him with some blood in Damien's office. So to look strong, Cecil brings him back to hell. Obviously, we're going to see that guy back in the show, but Cecil is trying to add in the point that Omni-Man should be clear, just making sure that he tells him that he's clear, even though he clearly knows something's up with Omni-Man. And Omni-Man giving those speeches at the funeral and at the public funeral of the Guardians really hit home for me, the idea of he kind of believes what he's saying, but also not, in the balance of he killed these people, but the irony that he has to give the speeches as well. And I think the episode 4 was great because it was really Sandra Oh's episode with, we obviously got development with Mark going to Mars and all that, the sorrow-like creatures that can turn humans into, aliens. That type of stuff is in the episode, no doubt. But the balance of Omni-Man, he knows that his wife, Debbie, knows something is off. She knows that she's being lied to. She had to sell the Flash's wife house in the show, and she just feels like Omni-Man is lying to her. And she doesn't like feeling like that. He talks down to her in a couple scenes, and then he says, let's go back to our first date. And then they're sitting down. There's a huge fight going on, and she's like, "You're gonna go," and she's like, "Let's earn Cecil his pay grade." This, seriously, guys, I adore this show. Everything about the show, I'm absolutely loving. The characters and the voice cast work so well together, and I'm very emotionally into the story. Now, there's only 4 episodes left, which is very sad, but we have 4 more weeks. So at the end of the series, guys, I'm gonna give you my full spoiler thoughts of the entire show. Will there be a season 2? Do I think there should be a season 2? And my overall thoughts of these last 4 episodes as well will be added into that. But I absolutely adore this show. If you are not, tell people about this show. This show needs to be talked about more. I know it's going up against Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it needs to be talked about more. So thank you guys so much for watching my review, my spoiler review of episodes 1 through 4 of Invincible. More reviews coming down the line. Ring the bell, subscribe, like the video, comment, share, all the types of things. Let's get this show being talked about way more than it is. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.